There are 10 cases bubbling their way up through the court systems, state and federal here in Florida, as the clock is ticking on bringing the freedom to marry to the Sunshine State. And of course, the one that people are paying the most attention to right now is the clock that the 11th Circuit set ticking that will, unless the Supreme Court intervenes, open the door to the freedom to marry here on January 5th. Now, there are many twists in the road, and there are many details, and there are many things going on. So what I would encourage people to do is pay attention to the news, watch what's happening, but don't get sidetracked from the work we need to be doing here in Florida, which is to make the case that Florida is ready for the freedom to marry, and to make the case that every day of denial is a day of real hardship, a day that affects families, a day that people aren't having something important. We need to be having those conversations neighbor to neighbor, because it's the work we do talking about the freedom to marry here in Florida that creates the climate that makes it easier for the courts to do their job.
I think it's so important for gay people to share their stories. It's very difficult to be against a group, against something, against rights for a group when you know their lives, when you know their faces, when you know their stories. It's easy to be against when it's all about statistics and percentages. So the most important thing gay people can do at this point is share their stories with those that may not have gay loved ones, gay friends in their lives. Fortunately, I'm lucky to have many in my life, and not only has it enriched my life, it's also made me a person who thinks gay marriage is just like any other type of marriage.
Well, this case is important for us, or for me I should say, because it's about protection and it's about equality and not feeling like a second-class citizen.
How long are you both together?
We've been together 17 years.
And so tell me about, how long have you been married?
We got married in 2009.
Where?
In Boston.
And why, is this important to you that you be married and that your marriage be recognized in Florida?
I think at first marriage was just something that we thought would be a nice thing to do, but as we went through the process of getting married, I realized, and I think we both talked about how validating it was to have our relationship legally recognized in every part of the process. And then the day we were able to stand in front of our family and be committed was it had a huge impact on us. When we came back to Florida, it was the kinds of things of having to introduce the idea that I have a wife as opposed to my partner, and having people kind of question our legal status and just everyday things that we did. So that's why it matters, because our marriage is real and it's legal and it should be recognized here.
So, on January 5th, at the end of the day, it appears that at this moment that, you could very well be legally married in Florida as well. What difference will that make to you in your own lives, whether the state does recognize your marriage?
I think for me, and I was talking to my son about this earlier today, and I was trying to think about what it would feel like, and I think it's just the confidence of knowing that our relationship is legal, it's protected, and maybe it means that we go home and cook dinner and do our homework with our son and get ready for our next day, but it's knowing that we are protected and our relationship is legally recognized, and it's having that confidence.